to Lifestyle Buzz Today with Orlando. Fresh, innovative, entertaining talk about topics we are all in one way or another involved with. And now here's your host, Orlando Burgos.
Well, hello world. Welcome to another edition of the Connection to Better Living, or as I like to say, the antidote for boring radio. Sad day for our nation with the death of innocent children, teachers, and even a relative passed away from a broken heart. I mean, it's crazy stuff. All because of one loose screw in some person. And you know what? What I hate the most is that all of a sudden a lot of people started politicizing the situation, which is such, to me, it's like such low class. But it is what it is. We live in a political society, and although our show is not political at all, it really kind of ticks me off to see these things happen. And they shouldn't. We should really put our hearts out there for the parents, relatives, and other teachers and other children of the area, and try to find a reasonable solution. I have to tell you one thing, that having been part of the military, I have a lot of respect for weapons. I grew up playing guns and games of war and whatnot. And it's really not true that being exposed to weapons creates criminals. It's mental issues that create criminals. With that in mind, I think it's best to kind of let those who know better try to find a solution, and hope for something that works out very well, very fast. With us today, our guest today is Mr. Ewart Chin and Bella Trost.
Yes.
Okay. Martial arts, actor, producer, and you are
Yes, a former gymnast, become a fitness athlete.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go.
And now producing movies.
Yes.
We co-produced a movie together.
Yeah.
Actor. Anyway, I don't need to be so obvious, but oh my God, the runway,
Right.
the red carpet, all. No, it's going to be a great show. So, really quick, what do you think about this Texas situation?
I believe that we're living, like you say, in a very sick world. And something has to change. It's getting really bad.
I mean, it's getting to the point where people get offended over just everything. And what that does, it creates a dysfunction in communications.
Right.
You can no longer say, my God, I think this person needs help. Because they, accuse you of not being a doctor, and you should not be saying that because it hurts people's feelings and all that. Yet, people die.
Yeah. I mean, take for example, the COVID situation that we had. I noticed a lot of people on Facebook post stuff like really, really bad stuff about other people just because they didn't agree that they weren't concerned with it.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Let's take a little bit of a break. When we come back, more Ewart Chin and more Bella Trost.
Do you have Medicare and do you use a CPAP machine? This is a national healthcare alert regarding your CPAP supplies. Using a clean CPAP mask and clean supplies is important to staying healthy. The best way to make sure your CPAP equipment is clean is to get new supplies. If you have Medicare, we have great news. Medicare will pay for you to have new clean supplies every 90 days. We'll even do all the paperwork for you to make sure that there's little to no out-of-pocket cost to you. And you don't even have to leave your home. We provide free in-home delivery. So if you're a CPAP user and you have Medicare, staying healthy with new CPAP equipment is easy. Just make this free phone call right now to get started.
Sponsored by Specialty Medical. 800-846-2153. 800-846-2153. 800-846-2153. That's 800-846-2153.
All right, we are back. Mr. Ewart, I'll start with you.
Okay.
You were born in Jamaica,
Yes, I was.
and your formative years, were they spent in Jamaica?
Well, up till I was 7 years old.
7 years old. And then you went to London.
Right. My family migrated there. On my grandma's side, they're actually Scottish, but they lived in England. So.
Okay, all right. And when was it actually that you picked up the martial arts bug? Because it's something that you just are not born with it.
No. Actually,
the funny thing is, my grandfather is from China.
Okay.
And there's a place called Foshan in Guangdong province.
Okay.
And there is considered the Kung Fu capital of China.
Oh.
Yeah, so all like Wang Fei Hong, going way back in history, that started Hungar Kung Fu, that's where they started it. And then it translates into the cultures forward.
Okay. So when you studied the martial arts, was it with the intent of getting into the movies, or was it that once you were trained that you got the movie bug?
Absolutely not. First of all, I'm a martial artist.
Okay.
And it's a way of life for me. I've always done it from I was very young till now, right? When I moved to the U.S., I moved to Canada where my sister lives in Toronto. And the summers were great, but the winters were brutal. So I decided to move to California where it's sunny. So when I got here, I got into meeting a lot of martial artists.
Okay.
And so most of them were in films. So every time they would have a project, they would call me, hey, we're doing a project. Why don't you come on down and do some stuff with us, And that's how I got into it, So I never planned to be an actor or a producer or anything.
Okay.
It just kind of just happened.
That is such a fantastic thing to hear, because I started acting, doing commercials and stuff like that very late.
Okay.
But the fascination of Hollywood was there when I came here at 10 years old.
Right. So you were into it.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, like for me, my dad used to say, we live just a short skip and a jump from Hollywood. And I used to go, man, can hardly wait to get there to see, because for me, the idea of Hollywood while living in Costa Rica was of this gigantic fenced place where all the actors live.
Yes.
It was like kind of a strange thing. So when I came over here and I saw what it was and this and that, and I go like, oh my God, this is really great. And I started going as a filler at the Oscars and seat filler.
Cool.
So, but it wasn't until, God, man, maybe 20 years ago, 25 years ago, maybe a little bit longer, that I was in the travel business and I sold this package to this well-known model.
Okay.
And her agent came over to pick up the documents.
Right.
Yeah? And she says, you have the look. I still don't know what that means exactly. So all of a sudden she sends me to this place. I take photographs and the whole thing. And she starts sending me to auditions.
Oh, wow.
And at first, they go, okay, we're going to slate you. And I'm like, okay, what is that? So I started by watching other people slate themselves, and then I just kind of winged it.
Right.
And I started doing quite a bit of stuff. I was a regular on Desperate Housewives and on Dexter and
cool.
that type of stuff,
Right.
Always like a little backgroundish, some stunts.
Right.
But I've always wanted to do something a little bit more. The thing is that as you get older, the roles start getting fewer and fewer and fewer.
Right,
to the
right.
point, and so I kind of like wish I would have done a little bit more, but it's still fun. I do backgrounds.
Yes.
And
I mean, you still can do it at any age. I mean,
Yeah.
like a lot of, like Morgan Freeman, for example. He's been working in the business for quite a while. He never got his break until way when he was in his late years,
Yeah.
And that's when he broke out, and then all of a sudden he started making huge movies, and he started making a lot of money. So it's never too late, is what I'm saying.
No, I mean, it's like anything else. You know what? Sometimes I think of myself, well, I'm at that age where I should just like start unrolling things and forget about things. Then you look at the other side of the coin where you have a much, much older person running for president of the United States. And
Exactly.
they're going to have the finger on the red button and stuff like that. And you go like, well, maybe I'm not that old. I mean, it's a bit funny business. I mean, like, I went to an audition the other day, and it was for a photo shoot for one of the banks, major banks. And they looked at me and they go, this is for senior citizens. And I go, yeah. But then again, I look at myself and I've got the beads, the earring, the funny glasses, the whole thing. And I'm like, okay. But because I look at the other people, and they're walking with canes, with walkers,
Right,
and that's what they were looking for.
Yes, exactly.
That was the type of picture they wanted. And at first I got kind of like sore about it, and then I go like, hell, man, I should be very grateful.
Yeah. I mean, you're not the guy that's walking with a stick.
Man, although a few years ago I had an accident where I did for a while,
Right,
do that because I had broken
Of course, yeah.
hip knees and hips and chest. I mean, you name it. Anyway, Bella, how much time do we have? We got okay. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I'm originally from Hungary, and I used to be a gymnast. And I think if you do gymnastics from early childhood, is kind of leads your way in life all the way, because you are just disciplined and organized. Right. And I love having fun, but it's always there that things have to be done. And when they opened the European Union, I went to England, not because I had a bad life in Hungary. I used to work in TV in production, and I used to model a lot, and I was in so many TV commercials. I was kind of popular back to my country, but I always knew, actually, from very early age, I always wanted to come to the States, but it was like a very long way. And then I went to England, and I started to do other things. And 2017, one of my friends invited me to LA, and I was like, wow. I was like, I love the energy here. I was like, this is where I want to be. And then at that time I was competing as a fitness model. Okay. And I was like, I think that's my way to get here. So, and then I won a world championship here in 2018, WBFF. And that's kind of gave me the key to be able to come to the States. And here we go.
Wow,
lots of things happen since.
You know what? I mean, I hear a lot of people complain about one thing or another, including myself. I've found myself where I've always been a very positive type person. I find myself going like, oh my God, all this type of stuff, because a little thing goes bad.
Right.
It just takes try. Let's take a little bit of a break. When we come back, more with these fun too.
Do you have have Medicare and do you use a CPAP machine? This is a national healthcare alert regarding your CPAP supplies. Using a clean CPAP mask and clean supplies is important to staying healthy. The best way to make sure your CPAP equipment is clean is to get new supplies. If you have Medicare, we have great news. Medicare will pay for you to have new clean supplies every 90 days. We'll even do all the paperwork for you to make sure that there's little to no out-of-pocket cost to you. And you don't even have to leave your home. We provide free in-home delivery. So if you're a CPAP user and you have Medicare, staying healthy with new CPAP equipment is easy. Just make this free phone call right now to get started.
Sponsored by Specialty Medical. 800-846-2153. 800-846-2153. 800-846-2153. That's 800-846-2153.
Have you heard about Vine to Bar chocolate? It's the winemaker's chocolate, the world's first chocolate made with well-vined Chardonnay marc from the beautiful coastal vineyards of North America. Gently pressed grapes are harvested after juicing, dried and finely milled and carefully blended into the finest dark chocolate. The Chardonnay marc contains highly beneficial grape nutrients, flavonols, and has a natural sweetness that flavors the luscious dark chocolate. Mouth-watering, flavorful, delectable dark chocolate goodness with Chardonnay sweetness and beneficial nutrients. And it's alcohol-free, too. It's Vine to Bar chocolate. Order some today at vinetobar.com. That's VINETOBAR.com. Cold shipped to your door, it's Vine to Bar. Vine to Bar chocolate. Visit us at vinetobar.com. You've heard me talk about MyPillow, and now Mike has done it again by introducing his new slippers. I love these. He's taken over 2 years to develop them. They're designed to wear indoor, outdoor, all day long. They're made with MyPillow foam and impact gel to help prevent fatigue. They're made with quality leather suede. Now, for a limited time, Mike's offering them 50% off on his new MyPillow slippers. 50% off. The My slippers are so comfortable. You'll want to get some for the whole family. I wear mine. I look like a movie actor, like Robert Davi or Fred Dreyer on a movie set. Go to mypillow.com, click on the radio listener square, and use the promo code HORN. You'll also get deep discounts on all MyPillow products, including the Giza Dream bed sheets, the MyPillow mattress topper, the MyPillow towel sets, or you can call 800-889-6959 and use the promo code HORN. That's 800-889-6959. Use the promo code HORN, or go to mypillow.com and use the promo code HORN.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit mypillow.com.
All right, welcome back to Lifestyle Buzz at the mighty CRN, the best radio station in the world. And I got to say that with authority because it's true. We have a show for every set of ears possible. Yeah. You're into producing.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Which part do you enjoy the most, acting or producing?
I actually enjoy being behind the scenes.
Do you?
Yeah. I mean, obviously I do acting, but I love to be behind the scenes, you know, making things happen. You know.
There's a lot of people who don't quite understand the many divisions of the entertainment field.
Right.
And one of them is the production. The producer is actually the one that puts everything together.
Pretty much. Mm-hmm.
The financing.
Yes. I mean, the executive producer puts the money in, but the producer is the one that gets that guy to put the money in. So
okay.
he does it. Yeah.
All right. So is it primarily martial arts films that you produce?
No, actually, every genre.
Do you?
Every genre, yeah. As a matter of fact, the film that we just did,
it was like a thriller.
It's a horror thriller.
Yes.
And we won like worldwide. How many awards we won? About 25?
I don't want to be full of myself. I lost counting. Actually,
yeah.
we
literally
but a lot.
all over the
like
world.
Over 25, I think now.
Wow.
Around the world, not just in the U.S. It's all over.
What's the title of the film?
It's
700
plus.
Okay. And where can our audience go see it?
Nowhere yet, because we still have a couple of festivals.
It's still in the circuit.
Yeah, it's still in the circuit, and until that we cannot really put out
700
online.
Yes.
But actually, in September, we're gonna have again a
re-release.
big screening in one of the studios.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Well,
Yeah.
keep us in mind.
Oh yeah, we'll
Yeah, you're
definitely
gonna be
invite you.
invited.
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
will totally love this film.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so many countries voted us #1, so
Yeah.
there must be a reason why.
And it just happened
You know.
from scratch.
Yeah.
Like I find a script that I was like, okay, we have to make this, and then I meet like brilliant people, like brilliant athletes. Maria Mendoza, who is like a great martial artist as well. He was the main character, and then Ewart played as well and
Yes.
co-produced. So
Yeah.
Do you act in most of the stuff that you produce?
Mostly.
Yeah?
Mostly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wear 2 hats. You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about directing?
Directing, I've done directing before, but I haven't focused more on that. I mainly focus on the production part of it and the acting part of it. Yeah.
Do you have to have a super keen eye for the directing part?
Oh yes, you have to have a vision.
Yeah.
You read a script, you kind of work out the characters, and then you have to have a vision of where you want to take it.
Right.
You know, because one director can direct a project one way, and then another director can direct it another way.
and it's like a completely different
Completely
film.
different feel.
Completely,
Yeah,
yes.
so you have to have that vision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very complex business, and you know what? I pay a lot of attention when I go
To
a
movies,
set. You know,
yes.
and even though I'm behind the scenes, just watching more, and then a
Right.
little background here and there.
Right.
I pay a lot of attention to all the detail, and it fascinates me to see how many moving parts there are in a scene
Oh yes.
It's a
without
teamwork.
actually looking like
Yeah.
anybody's busy.
Right.
But you know what? I mean, sometimes they go, okay, this guy looks at the watch and waits a little bit. Well, he's looking at the sunset because it has to be at the right angle. And then all of a sudden, action, boom, boom, he gets the
Yes,
shot.
yes, because when you have that vision of what you want, then you set it up in your mind, and then when you're directing it,
Yeah.
from the director's point of view, you gotta really like, okay, if the lighting is not good at that time, or we have to wait on this shot till it's dark, or there's all these things that comes up.
There's a
and you
lot of
have to-
variance.
It's a
that-
lot
yeah.
of preparation.
Yes.
Because so many little details, and it's not by accident that many people working on a project.
Yeah,
Because
and sometimes you don't get you miss it, and then you have to
Wait again for a long
reschedule
time.
the whole thing. So that's important.
Yeah. Mike, you had a question?
Oh, it's just interesting, like martial arts and gymnastics. I mean, so much of it, is about timing, and so much of it is about blocking. And making a movie, everything is planned. People where the actors stand,
especially
where
Yes.
it looks.
right? Yeah.
The
Yes.
blocking is. Well, I think a lot of people, laymen, don't really understand that takes so much time.
Oh yes, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if it's a fight scene. Like, it's like every details
Yes.
and move.
All right, let's take a little bit of a break. When we come back, more show.
Trying to sell your old car? Instead, donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind. Pickup is free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats, whether they run or not. Call right now and receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to over 50 locations. Call 1-800-785-9618. Donate your car today. That's 1-800-785-9618.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major term life companies. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past few years. For example, example, a man age 45 non-tobacco user. $1 million of coverage is only $75 per month, level for the next 10 years. Or a man age 50 non-tobacco user can buy $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of only $110. Guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. That's right, level rates for 20 years. And if you're a smoker, we have great rates for you as well. At the Term Lifeline, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. So if you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call right now for a free quote.
Rates and availability may vary by state. Sample rate quotes are based on preferred non-tobacco underwriting exam required to qualify. 800-349-6855. 800-349-6855. 800-349-6855. That's 800-349-6855. Attention real estate investors. Do you need cash immediately? If you own one or multiple rental properties, you can use your equity to get cash out fast. The best part is we don't need tax returns or even a good credit score. At America's Loan Source, we are not a bank and we don't have bank rules. We make the decisions to loan you money, and there's no limit how much we can give you. Some clients have gotten as much as $500,000 or more within days. Use the money any way you want. If you own one rental property or 100 and COVID has left you in a cash crunch, we can help you turn your equity into fast cash. Call now for details and close in as little as 10 days and get the cash you need. 800-353-1760. 800-353-1760. 800-353-1760. That's 800-353-1760.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Their expert staff can help you turn your book idea into a real book, a masterpiece that could someday make the bestseller list in hard copy and digitally all across the world. Page Publishing can help you completely take your idea for a book, write it, and publish it. So if you want to join the ranks of some of the most famous authors in the world, call now for a free information kit. Turn your book idea into publishing gold. Make a free call right now to Page Publishing.
800-378-3212. 800-378-3212. 800-378-3212. That's 800-378-3212.
Hi, everybody. Michael Horn, along with Fred Dreyer, here in the Sports Lounge. We look behind the scenes in the world of sports, do we not, Fred Dreyer?
We look behind and in front sometimes.
Really?
Yes.
Check them both out, and you can see everything there. This isn't your show for sports scores. This is the show about the politics of sports.
We're not ripping and reading. We don't care about what the Phillies and the St. Louis Cardinals did in the third inning on a rainy day. Who cares? We're here to give you insight into a certain part of the sports world you don't normally see.
Wednesdays at 4 on CRN.
Thank you very much for tuning in. I want to mention something that I read actually in one of your posts about a really favorite actor that I've always liked him, Mr. James Hong. He finally got his star.
Yes, yes. I actually several years ago did a lot of got a lot of signatures for him to get his star.
Yeah.
And it didn't happen then because Universal, he was working with Universal on some project, and they were supposed to put the money up to pay for, the star.
Okay.
I think it's like about $55,000 or something like that.
Okay.
Anyways, James and I go way, way back.
Really?
We've worked on projects together. We've known each other for a long, long time. James used to come to my house every birthday that I have in Simi Valley. I had a big house in Simi Valley up in the hills.
Okay.
And he used to call me up and say, Ewart, come and pick me up. So I drive to his house, pick him up. We go out to parties.
Oh.
Now, whenever I take him out to parties, everybody wants to dance with him. Everybody's coming up to him. Everybody wants to dance with him. he's such a fun guy.
He is so prolific because I
over
mean,
600 appearances in film and television.
Yes.
600 appearances. Best known probably for Big Trouble in Little China and also in Seinfeld in the very first episode.
Yes.
Actually, that part of Seinfeld happened to be my very favorite one.
Yeah.
Where he's like so stuffy, you know, like.
Yeah. Do you know that he worked with James Cagney? You know James Cagney?
Yeah.
That's way back.
That's way.
When he was younger, he was a kid actor. You know, he worked with James Cagney. How cool is that?
I mean, just the idea of there's a whole lot of people that really don't pay attention to history.
Right.
And then you hear something like this, and you go. To a lot of people, go, "Oh, who was James Cagney?" You know.
Oh my gosh.
But that's the way it is. There's no emphasis on remembering the past.
Yes.
And I think it happens to be, in my opinion, the past happens to be the key to your future because it's what enlightens you to move forward.
Oh yeah.
You know?
I mean, think about music. I like the music from way back.
Yeah.
The 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. And then maybe after that, I kind of like slow down on it, you know, but I enjoy the music. When you listen to music from that time, you hear the music, it never gets old. It's like, it goes on forever and ever.
I mean, the thing is that you buy, let's say, to make it simple, Elvis or Rolling Stones, early CDs. You know,
right.
And there's 12 songs there, and there is very little similarity other than the instrumental parts and guitars and all of that.
Right.
The message of each song is a little bit different.
Right.
You know? Whereas today you buy a rap CD or whatever, and it seems to me that every single tone is the same.
And it's a bunch of noise.
Boom, boom.
It's just a bunch of noise.
So
they're making beats.
I mean, I don't want to put down any type of music because I think the talent is
there too.
Enormous. It's there. But the fact is that we should never forget that there was some great stuff in the back.
Oh yes.
You know,
yes.
Being from a Latino background, I still listen to old Latin music, all the cumbias and boleros and all of that type of stuff, because it brings me back home.
Yeah,
to my roots.
it kind of warms your heart when you listen to that stuff.
Yeah,
you know. And it's like, I mean, talk about the dancing back then. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I used to go out and dance all these songs, and I'm like, wow. When I hear it again, I'm like, I'm ready to dance. You know? It brings back those memories.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
Yes.
Was American music popular in Hungary?
I mean, I'm from the Eastern Bloc. So when I was child, we had still the Eastern Bloc. And Hungary was the most Western country in the bloc. So kind of black market and everything, we have lots of things from the West. But we didn't really have access. We had one TV channel, one state channel. And then, I mean, that was when I was very little. But then, we started to open, we started to get things from Western Europe. But the funny thing is, and I don't know how, I think we were the only country in the Eastern Bloc where, this is why I always wanted to come to the States, because I do remember like all American films were on that one state channel. That was the main program. So 8 o'clock, we had the main film, and the TV was on till 10 p.m. And that was it. And many times, like let's say we had the program for a whole week ahead, and like once a week we had one big American movie, And I'm like, oh my gosh, so that's America, that's amazing, So for me, that's my memory from about America. But like American music, like country music, if you mean, or something, if it was maybe in the film, yes, I heard, but we didn't really have access for these kind of things.
That's you know what I mean. This is what a lot of people don't quite understand about our country. Is that openness about things, When I hear a lot of people saying that, well, nothing like socialism, I go, have you ever lived in a socialist country? I mean, seriously, do you know what you're talking about?
Exactly.
Because if you do, Venezuela's wide open, you know.
Exactly. Go there.
But people like to talk a lot. This is what sometimes, that's why I don't touch politics, is because one day somebody has this weird opinion about things, and the next day it's totally backwards. You know, and you need to kind of educate yourself, learn from the past, and maintain a steady rhythm of what your path should be. You know?
Yes.
Support
of life. You know.
You know, it's life is what matters. I mean, we need to start thinking a little bit different.
Anyway, just like a note on that, because I grew up in socialism, and because maybe I was a child, I don't remember we had an unhappy childhood. We had food, we had everything, but it was just limited. But that's what we knew we had.
Yeah.
So
let's take a little bit of a break. Take it away.
Experiencing pain, back pain, shoulder, elbow, or hand pain, pain from a sports injury? If so, schedule a visit with Dr. Michael Sheps, the leading expert in laser therapy for pain management. Call 310-873-4422 or go to drsheps.com. Experience Epic T, the breakthrough laser therapy system that Dr. Sheps developed to make you pain-free in less time. Laser therapy is a non-invasive, safe, and effective in-office procedure that penetrates deep into your skin without damaging the tissue. It perfectly targets areas of pain to promote fast, natural healing. Relax your muscles, ease muscle spasms, joint stiffness, and arthritis pain while increasing blood circulation. For over 25 years, Dr. Sheps has helped Olympic athletes and sports enthusiasts alike get back in the game. Schedule your visit with Dr. Sheps at his Brentwood office in California. Call 310-873-4422 or visit drsheps.com. That's DRSHEPS.com. 310-873-4422.
Do you have Medicare and do you use a CPAP machine? This is a national healthcare alert regarding your CPAP supplies. Using a clean CPAP mask and clean supplies is important to staying healthy. The best way to make sure your CPAP equipment is clean is to get new supplies. If you have Medicare, we have great news. Medicare will pay for you to have new clean supplies every 90 days. We'll even do all the paperwork for you to make sure that there's little to no out-of-pocket cost to you. And you don't even have to leave your home. We provide free in-home delivery. So if you're a CPAP user and you have Medicare, staying healthy with new CPAP equipment is easy. Just make this free phone call right now to get started.
Sponsored by Specialty Medical. 800-846-2153. 800-846-2153. 800-846-2153. That's 800-846-2153.
Are you into food? Are you a foodie?
Oh, I love food. I'm actually a really good cook.
Are you?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
we're going to come back to you in a second.
Okay.
How about you?
I'm not a good cook. Maybe I could be if I worked on it, but it just, you know, when you do gymnastics and fitness, it's kind of you eating functional. I do love having good food, but it's just not that I prepare. I love when they're putting in front of me.
Okay. All right. I'm going to throw a question at you.
Okay.
Hypothetical. Ewart is throwing a party, little dinner party for 6 people, dead or alive. Who would you invite?
James Hong always comes. Yeah,
he's always there.
He's always there at my house. A lot of my friends come to eat because they just love my cooking.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what would be the main course?
Probably I would do some salmon, maybe do some shrimp, do some curry of something, curry chicken or whatever, you know. And matter of fact, my friend that was supposed to be here today, her birthday, so I'm going to be cooking for her.
Okay.
Yeah, the last time I did her birthday a year ago, the whole party, they just love the cooking. They were like, wow, can I get the recipe? You know, so I'm pretty good.
Okay. So in a social setting with you, what would be like the main topic of conversation?
Well, it all depends. It all depends. It depends on, you know, the people that are there. You know, if they're into whatever they're into, then we'll discuss that, you know, that type of topic.
But do you get into politics? Do you get into...
No, I try to stay far from that.
Okay.
Especially with friends. I never like to discuss politics with friends.
Okay.
You know, because, you know, people get offended, and even though, you know, you have your ideas, they have their ideas, and then, you know, people get offended. So I try not to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just better not to divide the group.
Yes.
But
well, you know what? In any social setting, the host is like the main function. Really, is to kind of keep the whole thing together,
right?
Together,
right?
And in many cases, today's people are so. There's some that are very sociable,
right?
And there are some who are very distrusting,
right?
And very aggressive. You know, and they love to put their opinions out there, you know, like they don't care. And it can make for such a sad evening.
Yeah.
That, you know, the reason why I bring it up is because anytime you host something, you're putting a lot of love and passion and effort into it.
Exactly.
So it's difficult to sometimes tell people, well, yeah, we're gonna like leave you out this time.
right. I mean, when I cook, I never cook from a recipe. I cook from the heart.
Oh.
So when they taste the food, they taste my love. You know?
Let me write down the address so I can come by.
You've lived in so many different places. I mean, when you are cooking in those, you know, like that's so awesome that you don't use recipes, that you're cooking from feel and from heart.
Right.
Are you incorporating a lot of the multiculturalism that you grew up with and throughout you experienced throughout your life?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it's depends on where I'm cooking that type of food from. Then I'll put that forward, you know. But I must say that people just love my cooking. You know, I mean, I used to have, even when I throw the big parties for my birthday, I have it catered, but I have to cook a couple of dishes for the party, and it's people always gravitate to it. You know, so I think that food is so important in life. It's a part of us, you know, and so we should all like get into it and enjoy. And that's why my friend Eugenia, she's here. You have to cook for my birthday. I'm like, okay, no problem. So I'll be doing that coming up very soon.
Nice.
What's one tip that you'd give to an aspiring home chef? What's the one thing that they would need?
Okay, so when I cook, I never taste. That's me. It's like for cooking for me is a talent that I'm born with. I never learned it. I never went to school for it. I just know. And it's hard to say that, but it's really true, you know? So for me, I would say if you're cooking, just put yourself into it. Don't just look at the pages and just throw everything together and then, you know, you have to have just the way you cut the ingredients, the way you prepare it. There's a process, you know.
I think one of the things that has actually been very useful to me is actually knowing the different spicing as to what that particular spice can cause in the food.
Yes.
Because sometimes people just grab it and they go. And at the end, it's kind of a mishmash of flavors that really don't
blend together.
Don't fit.
Right.
So you need to kind of like, and not to use too much either.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
Be a little bit more minimal.
Yes.
Really quick. How about you entertaining? Who would you invite to a party?
Friends. I love music, so I usually am responsible for the music. And I love going out a lot. I'm very social, and I just love good energy and, you know, have fun. I do love food, but I like the actual event. You know, just sit around the table and talk.
Yeah.
I think it's a beautiful thing.
That is such a main ingredient that, doggone it, we ran out of time. Well, we'll say goodbye in the next segment.
Yes.
We'll be right back.
You order a glass of your favorite Cabernet, fresh asparagus, hollandaise on the side, a filet, medium rare. You unfurl your napkin with a flair, close your eyes, and prepare to listen. Ah, there it is. The sweet music you long to hear. The sizzle. The sizzle of a Ruth's Chris steak.
The most magnificent corn-fed prime beef, broiled to perfection at 1800 degrees. Some call it a sizzle. We call it an anthem.
As the waiter approaches, you think, is this one mine or that one?
Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. Like Ruth always said, life's too short to eat anywhere else.
Make a reservation online at ruthschris.com or by calling 800-544-0808.
The smartest way for you to get the lowest prices on your plane tickets, domestic or international, is to call SmartFares first or last, but you've got to call us before you book your plane tickets. Fly anywhere in the world, fly anywhere in the U.S., and SmartFares can save you up to 75% on your plane tickets. We have the lowest airline ticket prices on over 500 airlines, and you've got a great 12-hour free cancellation window. Plus, with our live agent help, you can always get fast help and fast answers. So on your next trip, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, how about right now? Pick up your phone and call SmartFares, plus save up to 75% on your plane reservation. So call right now. 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644.
Let's talk about your credit cards. When you first start using them, it's a slow drip. You make charges, then more charges, then bills come, and they keep coming. When you open your statements, the floodgates come pouring in. You realize you have more credit card debt than you can afford, and you're barely making the minimum payments. Wouldn't it be nice to make one affordable payment and have all your credit card bills covered? Make this free call and learn our responsible way to get your credit card bills paid and under control.
Sponsored by Consumer Education Services, a nonprofit organization.
800-876-3643. 800-876-3643. 800-876-3643. That's 800-876-3643.
CESI is not a loan company. The establishment of a debt management plan may adversely affect your credit rating. Non-payment of debt may lead creditors to increase finance and other charges to undertake collection activity, including liquidation.
All right, boys and girls, thank you for tuning in. More about this particular show is going to be on YouTube and about the end of the day today. So if you guys want to go and recap, there will be at YouTube at Lifestyle Buzz with Orly. So there. Any more information that you want about the show, go to our website, lifestylebuzz.today. And if you want to send me suggestions, messages, your credit card and PIN number, whatever, lifestylebuzztoday@gmail.com. Highly appreciated. And then there's going to be more news coming up for Lux Travel Buzz in the very near future. The website is almost all done, and I've been a bad boy about posting some stuff in there, but it's going to come up very soon with the next couple of days. Michael, last words.
Yeah, fantastic. I want you guys to come back because I want to do like a 5-hour show
Okay.
on your friend Mr. Hong, because he's an absolute legend.
Yeah, we have a lot of stuff to talk about.
Yeah, he's,
maybe you can talk him into.
I'll ask him. I'll ask him to come
would
by.
be amazing.
Yeah, I'll definitely ask him.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, either on this show or maybe some of our nationally syndicated shows on the network. So that'd be great.
Right. Yeah, I'll definitely reach out to him and ask him. You just tell me the dates that you're thinking, and then I'll just ask him.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. That'd be great.
Ewart, last words.
Yes. Well, yeah, it's been a great show. I really like it. I hope the audience loved, what we had to say, and I would love to come back.
There you go. Set. Bella.
Thank you for inviting. It's amazing to be here. So I don't know, like for me, a girl from Hungary, getting here and being in an American radio show, it's absolutely amazing. And well done, guys. I know like you've been doing this show for a while, and it's always amazing when something is running for a long time, because it means people love it and you love what you do. So it's amazing. Thank you so much.
There you go.
To wrap things up here, Orlando, we got about 2 minutes to go. Tomorrow's Memorial Day.
Yeah, I was going to say, having been in the military, for me, this is a very special time. And I had written down here the fact that tomorrow's Memorial Day, and it needs to be, of all the holidays, is one that should hit people the hardest and should be revered. There's a lot of people that have given their lives up for us to have this holiday. So it's more than a barbecue, it's more than going to the park. It's remembering those in uniform who gave their lives for our freedoms.
Absolutely. And if you know any vets, friends or family members of any vets, maybe reach out to them, because it'll be kind of a tough weekend for them. So make sure to check in on your vets. And like you said, it should be a celebration, but it also should be somewhat a somber celebration as well.
You know what? I mean, a lot of people don't really think about it, but going to the vet cemeteries, all the flags and everything,
right?
It's actually such a heartfelt moment.
Oh yeah.
That people just drive by these places and they don't really think about it, but you can walk in, walk around the tombstones and walk into history.
I remember watching Saving Private Ryan. You remember that movie?
Yeah. When
they went to the dad and everyone, the family went to the graves and they were just there. That was such a heartfelt movie.
Yeah.
Even I didn't know the family. I was tearing up.
Yeah. Shall we go, Michael? Why don't we just say so long, enjoy yourselves, enjoy the weekend, and again, put your flag out there. It's your country, it's your past.
Thanks for listening.
Take care. Goodbye.